Rule number 1.
Tell them.
No, we'll save it.
No, tell them.
No, we'll save
Come
it.
on, tell them.
We'll save it.
Say it right now.
Say the introduction to this video.
No, we're already fighting.
No, we're not.
So this is a good time for us to be talking about this.
Hi guys, welcome.
Guys. Welcome to this video. It was a couple videos back. One of the top comments was, please make a video about relationship advice, talk about long distance, jealousy, arguments, how you handle them, how you avoid them, stuff like that. So I thought it would be fun for us to do. We just drove around for a while trying to find a good lighting spot. I feel like this is a good shaded spot, right? What do you guys think? Please respect the grind, because we literally just drove around for probably 15 minutes trying to find a good spot. We're under a tree, a cherry blossom. Those are my favorite, by the way.
Yeah.
I love them. I think they're so beautiful. Okay, tell them your #1 rule to start it off.
So basically, in any relationship, it's happy wife, happy life. So there you go. That's all you need to know.
So the girl's always right. All you boys out there, just keep that in the forefront of your mind. The girl always wins. You have to keep them happy. I feel like that's just a good rule in general, because I feel like girls usually are more like opinionated about things. Like if there's something that you have to like agree on. I mean, maybe that's just like in my case, or like in what I think in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just better. But I think that's good for girls to hear too. That for girls, they can think happy husband, happy life. It doesn't have as good as a ring to it. And yeah, anyway, okay, let's just get into it, you guys. So first, let's talk about long distance. Since we kind of did long distance.
We always talked about this before.
But I showed up like every couple weeks.
Yeah. So I wouldn't call that long distance.
We were still long distance. You lived like a 5.5 hour drive away.
Yeah.
What do you think helped in long distance? Well, let's say our advice would be what we're gonna say. How to avoid it would be to just not do it. If you can live in the same town, obviously do it. But I think in certain circumstances, it obviously makes so much sense to be long distance. For example, us, for the past year, it was Max's first hockey season with a new team professionally. And so it just made a lot of sense. I feel like for you to figure it out on your own, you know? If I had come with you, there's just so much uncertainty. Like that would have been, I don't know. Well, I mean, there still will be this year when I do come with you, but I feel like you just thought it was important to figure it out on your own, you know? And for me, deep down, I was like, I know long distance will be good for me just personally as an individual to work on being independent. And I feel like I really worked on that in us being long distance. But I think things that help, tell them your #1 thing. And I think it's mine too. I agree. FaceTime saves lives. It really does. FaceTime's the best thing ever. And even now, since we're all, you know, socially distanced still and everything, FaceTime is so helpful whenever I FaceTime my sister, my mom, or whatever. I think in any relationship, it just makes you feel like you're with them in person. So the #1 thing, FaceTime, helps so much. And I feel like we are lucky that we both have a lot of free time in our schedule to like talk all day. Like sometimes we wouldn't text all day, but we would text a lot, or like FaceTime during the day too, and at night. I feel like we would always FaceTime at night, or most nights. But we didn't have to every night. And I think it's just being really good at communicating with your partner. And I think for a lot of people, if they're both working like traditional 9-to-5 jobs like you and me don't, they are obviously so busy all day and can't be on their phone. And it's like if you have a time set every night that you know you're gonna FaceTime for like 30 minutes or an hour or whatever, I feel like that's really helpful. That would be my advice. But long distance is tough.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you were just trying to hold back a yawn.
No, I wasn't.
These videos are painful for you. But I really like getting your input. Like there would be times where we would really miss each other and be sad.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay to know that it's normal. And I feel like me more than you, just because maybe I have a little bit more emotions, but I would just cry sometimes on the phone or on FaceTime and be like, I just miss you so bad, I just want to be with you in person. And I feel like a lot of you feel that feeling right now, whether it's your boyfriend or family or siblings or whatever that you can't see. And it's like, oh, I'm just frustrated and I want to be with you. But I think just knowing that that's normal. And I think also the other best thing for long distance, I feel like this is stuff we've said before because we've talked about long distance before, but you guys requested it. Maybe if you're new, I think knowing that there's like an end date to the long distance helps a lot, so you can look forward to it. Oh, and I wrote down, obviously knowing the next time you'll see them is always good to look forward to, and we would just count down and I'd be like 10 more days, or we would be like 2 more sleeps until we see each other. So I think that's really fun. And like we knew that it was only gonna be for the hockey season. Like we knew it was just gonna be like 8 months or whatever until we were together again. Now this lighting is getting freaky, look at my head.
You have to get really close.
So I think that's really helpful. Okay, let's talk about, oh, and I said surprising is always fun too. I would surprise you if you can, I want to say, because also if you're in like the traditional 9-to-5 jobs, you probably don't have that much time off, but maybe for like a weekend, and I know the time that you do have free, you're probably really tired, or like you play so much hockey, so like in any of your downtime you can't be going to visit me for 24 hours, like you literally need to rest. So I get that, but if you have any flexibility to like surprise visit them, that keeps it really fun too, keeps the romance alive. Okay, and I said it's okay to be sad and miss them, it's because you care. And I talked about that. So jealousy, under that I wrote trust and communication, all caps. But I think that's also normal to be jealous when you're not with each other in person, especially after a while. You just, and especially if you're me, you just overthink things and question everything and are like, maybe they hate me now because they haven't seen me in like a month. No, like nothing's changed. It's all in your head, probably.
And sometimes you get jealous when I hang out with my guy friends too much, or if I play video games too much with my friends.
Oh, like I get jealous because you're not talking to me, you're talking to them. You're exposing me over here. Wait, when is that? I don't even remember that.
I remember that. When you would say I would be hanging out with my internet boyfriend, Whit.
Hi, Whit. Shout out, Whit. Yeah. No, I feel like the only thing I can think of is if it would be like nighttime and I would be going to bed and I'd want to FaceTime you, but you would be like out with your friends and I'd be like, okay, I'm sad, I want to like talk, but you're like at a bar and busy and you can't talk or whatever. But I think just obviously if you're going into a long distance relationship, you need to trust the other person, or you're going to be stressed the whole time and like worry, and that's like not fun and not worth it. So I think recognizing that you have trust in your relationship before you start the long distance is important, and just communicating so much. I feel like we're good at that. I feel like I am overly communicative and push you to be that way too. But I think that's just good. I always say like I'd rather just like lay it all out and say everything, because then there's no surprises, and anything that comes up, it's like you already know about stuff. I don't know. Does that make sense? In the past and what's going on, because I already told you, so you're not surprised. And if anything comes up, you'll be like, oh, that's Gretchen's ex-boyfriend, or I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think when in doubt, it's just really good to communicate and talk to the other person. And if you're in long distance and you're sad, tell them. Or if you're jealous, try to figure out why. I think it's good whenever we have arguments, I feel like we try to push each other to talk about why. Like sometimes I get sad or frustrated or upset and I literally don't know why, and so then we try to like figure it out and talk about it, which can be like annoying or frustrating, but I think it's important, and then you learn more about each other. Okay, and then you want us to talk about basic couple problems, arguments. So I was just kind of saying that, but being willing to communicate and actually listening, I think is really good, because I think everyone deep down is a little bit stubborn, and you think your way is just the right way, and like the other person is dumb and doesn't know what they're talking about, and like you don't really listen to them. But I think when I actually listen, I can like see where you're coming from. Or I feel like we're just different people. Obviously in a relationship you're two different people, so sometimes we'll just like think something is so clearly right one way, and I'll like listen to you and be like, oh, that does make sense. You know what I mean? I'm talking this whole video. Tell us things, Max.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you want me to talk about?
What do you think about when we have arguments? I feel like we were talking about this yesterday. You said when we're bickering to talk through it. I wrote that down.
Yeah, we do bicker.
We're good at talking it out. We bicker when we spend 24/7 together, like right now.
It's usually just how different we do things, and how I want you to be more like how I do things, and how you want me to be more like how you do things. So it's about a compromise, about meeting in the middle.
How I dilly daddle?
Yeah, like
daddle,
how I'm quick to, I don't know, do things and get ready for bed, and
It takes me more time.
I have to ask you 5 times to
Do something. I know. This is like our big, this is the real tea over here.
where you just get distracted and do
Yeah,
other things.
like Max doesn't understand because he doesn't have ADD. But the other night, I literally was like, this is the perfect example. I had rings on this hand and earrings on this ear, and these earrings were off and these rings were off, and I was already doing something else even though I didn't finish that. And that's like what happens to me all the time. Or I'll be in the middle of doing something and I'll just abandon it to do something else, because that's like what my brain is making me think, that I just have so much to do. Or I'll like want to go fold the laundry, but I literally will forget. And so like little things like that, he'll be like, where's the laundry? And I'll be like, what laundry?
Yeah.
So yeah, I just feel like you're just really different, and you have to just see it where the other person's coming from. And like I always feel bad, but you know that I don't mean to forget things or like stuff like that.
And I'm sure there's things that I do that you would like for me to do more like the way you do things.
Yeah. Or I just think about, I know this is gonna be tough, but you guys know we want a puppy. And when we have a puppy in the future, it's like, that's a whole other thing. And I feel like my friend Natalie is like, oh, just wait till you guys get a dog together. You never fought until you have like a dog to fight over. Because I just feel like how you go about things is so different. But are we even giving you like real good advice here? Just talking about it. Being really honest with how you feel. I feel like I'm always really honest with myself, and I like push you to be that way and talk more about your feelings, and boys are just like, huh? But I'm like, this makes me feel like this, or I'm like, why am I upset? Maybe this is why. You know?
Yeah.
What other basic couple problems do you think couples have? I think they all just happen, I'm answering for you. I think they all just come from like not talking with each other when you're just not on the same page. Like you just need to be on the same page, and then you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Right? What else are you thinking?
I don't know.
What other problems do we have? I think it's just like little arguments. Like it's never anything like big, and if it's any like big arguments or like points of contention, we just really talk through it.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. It's pretty basic.
I think moving in together will present new challenges. Even though we've like technically like lived together, I guess. Like I'm living here right now. You've like lived in my apartment with me. But like moving into our own new apartment together and having to like furnish it and decorate and just like being with only each other so much. But I think it's always good too to have your own space.
Yeah.
And own moments to yourself.
And allow your partner to have their own space.
I do.
I know you do.
You make it sound like I'm crazy.
No.
You play so many video games.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
And I like that you do, because they make you happy.
Yeah. And I allow you to do your things on your own when you want to do them.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Yeah. You usually choose not to do them alone, but...
No. Like, I'll want to run alone, and you'll be like, I don't want you to go along. Can I rollerblade with you?
Yeah.
We both just would rather be with each other. But it's good to be on your own sometimes. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Tell us more things. You've been so quiet.
Well, I don't know. It's not that complicated, people.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Relationships are hard. Well, I guess, too, we don't have...
Just be normal and be good people, and you'll be good.
Well, we're lucky because we haven't dealt with, like, too many hard things or, like, struggles. Like, we've only been together for a year and 7 months. Oh, my God. 7 months and 2 days, I think. In 2 days, it'll be a year and 7 months. Or wait, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Yeah, in 2 days it'll be a year and 7 months. So it's like we haven't had that many hard things in our relationship to deal with. I feel like we've both gone through tough times individually, and it like helps being in a relationship to like help each other work through it. But like, I mean, I feel like couples really fight and have issues in relationships when they have like a home and children and dogs and like big decisions. So like it's not gonna be rainbows and butterflies forever. Like there's hard things you have to work through, but I think always thinking of what your partner, like having empathy, sympathy for them, and feeling, putting yourself in their shoes. seeing how they like feel about things is helpful.
Yeah, I agree. No, you're hitting it right on the head.
I'm trying to think, like, yeah, I feel like just fights or little bickerings that we've had recently. It's just like us trying to figure, and I like that whenever one person's upset with the other person. I feel like we've both been in this situation where you'll be upset or I'll be upset, and I'll be like, oh, I just don't want to talk about it, like, just don't talk to me right now. And the other person is like, no, seriously, like, can we just talk about it and like figure it out? And then we do, and it's way better. Because I know a lot of times you're probably just like, I'm mad, like, leave me alone. But it's better if you just push each other to talk about it, I feel like, usually.
Or if you give them time to cool off. I feel like I've needed that in some instances.
Yeah, like the littlest fights will just be like, you'll just say something to me in like a snooty tone because you're mad about
grumpy.
something else.
Yeah.
Or you didn't have your morning coffee and I'll like cry.
Come back in like 5 minutes and apologize.
And you
for
didn't mean to.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah, I feel like I'm sensitive to the way
I was just thinking of the microwave.
Oh my god.
Gretchen was trying to film a video and I was heating up food and the microwave went off and dinged and Gretchen yells out from our room.
No, but I said it in the nicest
I know,
way.
but I took it the wrong way.
I was just like...
She go, are you done microwaving? And I
like,
took it as,
are
you done microwaving?
Yeah, I was like, are you gonna like microwave more? Like, I'll wait, like, I don't care. Or like, are you done? And he was like, holy shit.
I was like, holy shit. And
he was like, yes, I'm done. Film your... It just cut off. But he was like, film your video. And then I was like, now I'm sad and I can't.
Yeah.
So it's just like little things. So just be mindful of how you speak to one another. And I think bottom line, what you have to come back to is that the reason you're in a relationship is because you love one another and you care about each other. So don't let like other things get in the way of that, because the alternative to being with them is not being with them, and you don't want that anyway, right? So it's like, don't let other little things get in the way. You are holding back a yawn this entire video. I look over and he's like,
no.
You hate talking about this stuff.
Yeah, I do. It's boring. Because I think it's just easy stuff.
Well, I think we're just good. We're just compatible, so we don't have that many issues. But I think...
And if we have issues, you talk about it and get over it and move on.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Life lesson for you.
But I just think it's good to talk about with people. And you guys are always, like, I feel like I see some comments and they're like, oh, they just, like, sugarcoat everything and aren't being real with us. And I'm like, no, we are. And they're like, we want to hear, like, your struggles during quarantine. And I think just the hardest thing that comes from that is just being together so much. But we're the type of relationship and people that we like being together that much. So much anyway. So I feel like it's more positive than negative. And the only thing is, if we're literally around each other way too much, it's just like a lot. Or I get upset if we're just spending a lot of time to like around one another but not together, and I'm like, we're doing our own thing all day but we're not really spending like quality time together or like sharing an experience. It's like he's on his computer, I'm on my computer, but in the same room. And so I feel like I just get sad sometimes because I'm like, I miss you, and he's like, what do you mean, we've been together all day? But I'm like, yeah, we've been physically together but not like spending time together. So it's like, just be like meaningful when you're spending your time together. You know?
Yep.
What other advice do you have?
That's all I got.
That's it?
Yep.
I think that's it. I hope that was like helpful. Oh my, I feel like I don't even know if that was helpful, but you guys really wanted, it was a top comment, you wanted me to talk about long distance. Those are my best tips. We've talked about them before. I feel like those are the things that help me the most. And obviously visiting, if you can do that. Jealousy, you just need to know. You need to like feel jealous, but then like let it go. Like just be like, I feel jealous, but there's nothing to be jealous about because I trust them and I'm talking with them and it's fine. And just like let it go, you know? Like I feel like everyone feels jealousy at some points. Oh my gosh, the cherry blossom is like
falling all over.
Are they getting on you?
A little bit.
Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And obviously communication is like bold. If you take one thing from this video, communication. You
should get a pic out here.
I think I should too.
Falling. It would be cool.
It's so pretty. Okay, bye. We have to go take Instagram pictures.
Okay.
And I think that's everything we wanted to talk about. But I hope that was helpful a little bit. You guys wanted us to talk about it. Clearly you can tell I'm the talker in the relationship. You talk too, just not about this stuff really. Okay, love you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video.
Bye.
Bye.